6 becomes 5 as another couple is laid off.
It's elimination time.
And the locals drop in to ask the tough questions of their potential new neighbours.
How much are you willing to pay me to help you knock off Pete and Tina?
And it all happens in the Hothouse Pavilion, which is just a stone's throw away from here, the gateway to Pacific Harbour, Bribie Island. The couples have no idea they'll be going face to face with the public today, so let's see how they handle some pretty probing questions. The Hothouse is almost at lock-up stage, and in just 4 weeks, one couple will be able to call themselves Bribie locals.
And this is what they're fighting for. The final 6 couples are going head-to-head for a piece of Bribie Island Canal real estate. The award-winning QM Properties has made Pacific Harbour the island's premier waterfront community. It's southeast Queensland, less than an hour to the Brisbane CBD, and it's Queensland's only island connected to the mainland by bridge. With more than 80% of the island's dedicated national parks and a population cap of 30,000, Pacific Harbour will be the last waterfront development of its kind. Not a bad place to call home. And tonight, Pete and Tina and Christian and Amy are trying to stay in the game. But first, they're facing a cross-section of the Pacific Harbour Bribie Island locals.
Pete and Tina have been called fake and calculating. On the other hand, they've been called the Aussie battlers and the underdogs. Having received 60 votes, let's take a look at just how thick their skin has become living in the hothouse.
I personally picked you because you guys are so genuine.
It's all right now, but it's going to get a bit dirtier, I think.
What if Mum and Daddy win the big house?
I think you need to reasons what we're here for.
I've got a big TV at home, okay?
We know that.
All my decisions are outvoted, mate.
You know darn well that's not true.
Just take me on.
Listen, darling, we're always the end of this group, all right?
That's his good news.
All right. Calvin, you're so muscly.
We're the underdog couple.
They're on top of the world. They're bordering on cocky as far as I'm concerned.
Hands up, who wants Pete and Tina as neighbours? Who doesn't want Pete and Tina as neighbours? Why not?
Because the language, my ears are very sensitive.
They're very loud, and I think he thinks he knows everything.
My biggest concern is the flashing lights of the police car. Actually, keeping me awake all night.
Amy and Christian are self-confessed easygoing people who claim to give everyone a go, but some say they've flown under the radar at times and they have been labelled alliance leaders. Let's take a look at their turn in the house. Can you see yourself living somewhere like this?
Who wouldn't want to live in a house? But at the same time, I'm not going to disgrace myself for it.
I've worn shorts this short since I was 6 years old.
I've watched Amy play cards 3 steps ahead of everyone else, and I think she would be the same in this game as in a game of cards.
That whole alliance, that was Amy and Christian, they brought that alliance together.
I don't think there's an alliance. I had a legitimate reasons for maturity, and so did Christian.
7-year anniversary, and Amy's cooking breakfast.
Which only happens once every 7 years.
What do you think of Christian and Amy?
At this stage of the game, I think Amy's getting very manipulative and conniving, and I don't really feel like I can trust her.
Ryan, what do you think of Amy?
Boring.
All right, before we find out who's being laid off this week, let's see how upfront our locals are face-to-face with our contestants.
Okay, question to the group. Who do you think is laying low and staying out of the limelight?
Calvin and Heather. They keep to themselves, so I think they're playing it very close to their sleeve. So I'm not sure whether they're trying to stay out of the limelight or whether that's just happening.
What do you mean we're hiding
within
where
the
we
sense
are?
of-
Hiding where we've been?
No, that's
we're-
just us.
We're just plain old, normal, simple folk.
But within a community sense, I'm a school teacher, and I get involved with
every facet of school life. I'm big into arts and music. I do all the musical productions at school. And Calvin's with the Surf Life Saving Association, so he's always doing charity drives and uni hours. So,
having heard that response from Calvin and Heather, do you think they're going to be good at blending into Bribie Island?
Yeah.
Warm fairy glow.
But the happy vibe doesn't last long.
How would you feel if Pete and Tina moved in next door?
Not happy.
Whilst in the pavilion, 15 Bribie locals are face to face with the contestants.
Amber, what's your question for Simon and Jules?
I wanted to know how you're handling being away from your children and how you'll justify your absence from them if you don't win the house.
We didn't really think we were going to come here and win it. We thought we'd come here and give it a good go. So we do certainly have our tough days. And we sort of concentrate on the good things that they're doing.
But I still don't think you answered how you'll justify to them your absence for this long.
We've actually just been completely straight with them and said, look, we're going to go on a TV show and try and win a beach house sort of thing, you know. And
we kept it really simple and straightforward.
They seemed to understand
exactly what was happening, and they watch us on TV every night.
Jan, how would you feel if Pete and Tina moved in next door?
Not happy. Visions of confrontation abound if you do win the house. You have to realise that this is a very small community, and it's a nice little community, and we're nice little peaceful people. And we like peaceful people to come and live with us.
Well, we are peaceful people as well. And in here it's a completely different situation because we have basically felt ridiculed from the others. And, from all the things that have been said and for me to stand up every week and get a lot of votes against me, I've held myself together. There's a lot at stake, it's a $2 million.
Pete and Tina aren't flavour of the month. What about the others?
Marcia, you have a question for Brett? Please stand up.
Brett, if you win the house, you will both come over here to live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcia, do you think Brett and Jeff would fit well into the Bribie Island community?
I think they would, with what they're doing. Yeah, I think you would. Yeah. Stop blushing. I should be the blushing.
Has anyone got a question for Christian and Amy?
Dean. You're willing to pay me to help you knock off Pete and Tina. I've got some influence.
Whatever it's like.
Christian, Amy, have you got anything that you want to say to the locals?
We love Queensland. My parents live in Brisbane already, and moving to a small community as well would be great. Just something different from what we're used to, I guess.
You're looking a little perplexed there, Cam.
Well, I'm a bit mystified. I've got to ask the boys. You want to start a family, but I just can't understand how you're going to do it.
Well, Jeff's ovaries are a bit undeveloped at the moment. It's an interesting question you ask because it's something that you might not completely understand, but we have many options for us. I mean, there's a lot of kids out in this world that don't have families, they don't have parents, and they're mistreated. And whether it's going to be our own through donation or of egg or whatever, if we adopt or we foster children, that's what we're going to intend on looking at.
Just can't get my head around that.
Yeah. I think Ken, once we win the house, then you can come over, we'll have a chat over it for many, many weeks. And then maybe we can look after your children.
Debbie, you have a question for Ben and Kat. Please stand up.
I was wondering, honestly, how do you feel about living on an island where the majority of people are older, when you're going to come up here and no friends?
We live in a place just like this in Perth, and we aren't big party people. We enjoy our life together, and that was the whole thing about coming here.
Naomi, you have a question for Pete.
I do. Pete, if you won the house, can we expect to see more beer cans in the canals?
No, definitely not. That was actually the can actually fell out of my hand. I didn't actually throw it in there, so I've been done for that, and I wouldn't throw cans in the canal. But
In response to all of this, it is a family community. It doesn't matter whether it's Simon and Jules with their beautiful children, Pete, Tina's beautiful children, children to come. It doesn't matter, or children coming from someone who just wants to nurture. The kids out there that need it. And bravo, if you've got the heart, you've got the finances, you've got the will, and you've got the determination to go for it.
Thanks, Bribie Island locals. After the break, it's elimination time. Let's find out who stays and who goes.
This program. Time to split the group for the elimination. Now, we've just heard what the Bribie Islanders think about couples, but moments ago, Pete was overheard telling Tina what he really thinks of the locals.
Outside, you said to Tina, if that's the kind of people that are living in this community, I don't want to be a part of it. Do you still stand by that?
No, because they're only a small majority, you mean? And you can pick your family, but you can't pick your friends. So if I come in, I'll pick friends who have more in common than
You can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends.
Yeah, sorry, what did I say? You can pick your family, but you can't pick your friends. No, sorry. You pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And, they're only a small majority, so I would pick people I have more in common with.
Christian and Amy, what's the standout thing that you've learned about each other?
Amy is such a handy person. She can nail, she can screw, she can tile, she can do anything. And I'm hopeless.
After nearly 50 days on site, it's come down to this.
Australia has spoken, and one couple has been saved. Christian and Amy, it's not you.
Christian and Amy are laid off. There are now just 5 couples left. Pete and Tina survive yet another elimination with more than 60% of the vote. As the couple make their final walk to the site, Christian comes clean about his involvement in an alliance.
Ben was sort of right about an alliance. It was all me. It wasn't Amy. Amy didn't
At all. I didn't agree to it. I didn't like it. I continued to vote for who I wanted to vote for. I didn't want anything to do with it.
There's 2 sorts of alliances I see. One's based on deceit and whatever else, and another one's based on friendship. That's the way it worked.
I still disapprove. What do you think of the black ball?
I think it needs to be changed. What are you going to do? What do you want to do?
I think we should leave our mark.
Okay.
Christian and Amy decide to leave a parting gift on Pete's beloved media room wall.
Gotta love their work. Good on them. See you, Dale.
Oh, see you, man.
See you, mate.
Thanks for your help.
No worries. See you, mate.
Some final farewells and a send-off of another kind.
Hi guys, Aussie John here. I'm sorry that your time in the hothouse has come to an end, but congratulations on making it this far. You've been great contestants and I hope you've had a lot of fun. Nobody involved in such a great show should go home empty-handed, so Aussie is pleased to give you $10,000. You can use the money for whatever you want. My tip is to use a kickstart towards buying your own hothouse.
$1,000. Thanks, Aussie John. We actually do need a home loan, so we might be calling you sooner rather than later.
As the sun sets on Christian and Amy's time in the hothouse, the remaining couples head to the voting van.
They've had a lot of chances to redeem themselves in the hothouse and they haven't taken those chances.
He has no morals at all.
He speaks about the house as if it's already his.
He's simply conning Australia.
Coming up, face-to-face nominations, and Pete comes out swinging.
Secret of success is to offend as many people as possible, mate. You're offended, bang, end of story.
As for our eliminated couple, Christian and Amy, they're heading to Curran Cove Island Resort. This award-winning resort is located on Stradbroke Island, a 15-minute ferry trip from Queensland's Gold Coast. After the stress of elimination, Amy and Christian can relax in the day spa, dine in one of 4 restaurants, or take in the island's natural wonders. It's been a long day, and our couples are heading back to the pavilion for face-to-face nominations.
Okay, big day for you guys. First point of contact with the general public in the form of the Bribie Island locals, and receive some feedback. Let's see if it affected your nominations. Simon, stand up please. Who are you voting for?
Voting for you, Pete. Mate, I was disappointed last week that I heard you calling people liars. So, mate, if you've got a problem, come and talk to us and I'm sure everything gets sorted out.
Yeah.
Jules, please stand up. Who are you voting for?
I'm voting for Pete. I just feel that I've actually got a stronger and better relationship with all the other individuals here, and if it came down to it, I guess at the end of the day I'd prefer to see them in the house over you.
Cool.
For you, okay?
Yeah.
Brett, please stand up. Who are you voting for?
Pete? Mate, I'm going to keep it short this week.
Thanks.
I'm voting for you this week because I really don't think you've been truthful. Truthful to yourself or to us, and also to the rest of Australia.
Well, I was very truthful, mate. That's your perspective.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff, can you please stand up? Tell us who you're voting for and why.
I'm voting for Pete. Actually, Brett sort of took away what I was going to say.
I'll have to hear it again.
It's okay.
Well, the tally's pretty easy. Pete and Tina are on 4 votes. Calvin, please stand up. How did you feel about Pete's version of the can in the canal incident today with the Bribie locals?
I had it on very good authority that it was chucked in. And when Pete was picked up on it, his response was, it's empty anyway. I like a beer or two and I've never had a can fall out of my hand, so that's why I thought that was a little bit sus.
Who are you voting for?
Pete. Something different. It was interesting hearing you talk today, Pete, because to me it was like you were making up who you are on the fly. The Bribie locals sort of are also puzzled with the things you say because it's just not adding up, mate. Jeez.
Heather, please stand up. Tell us who you're voting for.
Let's make it 6. Please stand up, Pete.
God, I'm popular, aren't I?
I'm voting for you this week because from day one that you've been in here, your slogan has been that you're keeping it real. I don't think I'm standing alone when I say that it's in fact the exact opposite of that you're doing in here.
No, just you say what you like.
Okay, that's now 6 votes for Pete and Tina. Ben, please stand up, cast your vote.
Pete, I'm going to vote for you this week, mate. I know you probably...
I've had it, yeah. Sick of getting voted, actually.
The main thing this week was I just thought you made a big deal out of that tile thing, and it was nothing to us. It was sort of just getting the tiles and giving them to me, so...
Ben! I didn't make an issue out of it, mate.
Yeah.
Your missus made the issue out of it. Well, next time when you go out, then go out the dirt door and go past the media.
It's just like it's easier for me to take the tiles.
You might not like accept that, mate, but that's the truth. I did nothing wrong. I walked away exactly when what she said. I walked straight out the door and said nothing. Benny, you might have to have a word with that missus of yours, mate.
Okay. Wound up over nothing.
I'm not wound up, mate. I think your missus, mate. You need to have a chat with her, do you? I said, maybe you should talk to your missus. She needs to grow up a little bit.
Well, I think she's pretty grown up, mate. So.
Well, I am too, man. I'm 35, she's 21.
Age is nothing to do with it, Pete, mate.
That's growing up, man.
Tina hasn't scored a single vote. Is her man letting her down?
Kat, please stand up.
Voting for Pete. I just think you actually acted really immaturely, pulling it away.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can I just finish before?
Yeah,
Because you
please.
always cut me off and I really just like to finish.
Please go.
I just really don't think a scene needed to be made. That was the reason I asked you to leave the room, and that is the reason I think you acted immaturely.
Yet again, due to everyone voting for Pete, he and Tina now have the power to take any couple they choose to the public vote.
Okay, please stand up, deliver your vote.
Yeah, my vote's for Kat. Okay. You've had your say on the situation. This is exactly what happened. My tiles are supposed to arrive. They didn't. Ben's arrived there. They said, Pete, can you take them into Ben, please? You met me at the door. I'll give them to Ben. And I said, no, I've got to give them to Ben. No, I'll give them to Ben. Don't come into my bedroom. It's my room. Keep out of our room. So I'll give you my vote. And that's exactly what happened.
Ben and I are a couple. If you're told to bring it to Ben, why can't you just hand it to Kat?
We're the ones keeping it real, mate, not you.
Okay.
After almost 70 votes during his time in the hothouse, is Pete starting to crack?
You have to question why we keep voting that way, mate.
No, why not? Secret of success is to offend as many people as possible, mate. You're offended, bang, end of story.
Tina, please stand up.
Tina now has the power to bring a third couple to the nomination table.
This week, my vote goes for Brett. Basically, I just feel that if we can just let bygones be bygones and go with the future instead of always dwelling on the past, I just feel it'll be a little bit more at ease.
Cool.
Another week where Calvin and Heather, Simon and Jules avoid being nominated. Is it luck, or is there a strategy in play?
Well, Australia, we've got 3 couples up for elimination. Pete and Tina, Brett and Jeff, and Ben and Kat. It's up to you. Who will be laid off next week?
If you want to save Ben and Kat, SMS the number 3 to 188 1110. If you want to save Brett and Jeff, SMS the number 7. To save Pete and Tina, SMS the number 14. Alternatively, you can vote via our website. Tomorrow night on The Hot House.
Oh, you buggers!
Pete and Tina discover their pride and joy has been given a touch-up. Plus, the great Render rip-off finally revealed.
Grabbed 6 wheelbarrows full of render.
We walk around scratching our heads trying to find them and there's no sign of them.
It's been, mate.
Whoever did it, it's not a funny joke.
And with just 5 couples left, it's time to call in the heavy artillery.